Cup Series winner!
Roosevelt, checkered flag is out, Stenhouse second. And Jimmy Johnson, after dominating the entire race, disappointing in third after wrecking out of the lead. And Kozlowski is getting dumped on pit road. Alright, so I just realized you guys couldn't actually hear my microphone, but I fixed that. Anyways, pace car is off pit road. We are on an accelerated schedule due to this race starting later than we had anticipated. Pace car is off, and Cole Custer from the pole position is going to lead us down towards turn 1. Coming to the green flag here at COTA in Austin, Texas. The Texas 300 is underway. Cole Custer leads us to green. In the dash down towards turn 1 now, Ricky Stenhouse already going 3 wide up the inside of Truex and Quinn Houff. He's going to make quick work of those guys and get up to 3rd place as the drivers head towards the first right-hander. Ryan Blaney has been able to hold with Cole Custer off the start of the race and is alongside him. Crash! Around goes Ricky Stenhouse. Truex into the wall as well. I'm not sure if that'll bring out the caution, but those two cars go around going into the S's. Stenhouse coming back out onto the track with a blown engine. Back up to the battle for the lead. Cole Custer gets away, but Ryan Blaney in second, trying to run him down and try and make the pass early on here at Texas. Down towards the first hairpin on the racetrack. Ryan Blaney all over the back bumper of Cole Custer. Is he going to make a dive? Is he going to try and give him a nudge? A little bit of contact. Blaney going to try and get to the inside, but cannot make it work. Back to third. Right now, Quinn Houff leading over Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch. But that battle is going to stack up as we go into the next left-hander. Ryan Blaney going to try and put some pressure on your race leader now, diving in towards the left-hander, but he is not going to be able to make a dive. Custer out a little bit into the grass is going to close Blaney up. He's going to try and make a run at the outside. Side by side, Cole Custer is going to hold on. Blaney's able to make that outside line work, though. He's got a nice wide arcing line. Doesn't look like he is able to get around your race leader. We'll see now if a caution has come out for Ryan Blaney and Truex's, Ricky Stenhouse and Truex's spin. Doesn't look like it has, so we will stay green. Custer continuing to get away from last week's winner, Ryan Blaney, who makes a dive coming at the outside, but nothing there as they head into the final turn. Cole Custer is going to come around to lead lap 1. Flyby of the field here as we begin lap 2. Ryan Newman and Chase Elliott, first cars side by side. Newman trying to make a dive through the first hairpin on the racetrack. We'll see if that's going to work out for him. Alexander Rossi taking advantage by going up the inside. They're 3 wide for the 6th position. Rossi on the outside. He's not going to sweep around Newman and Elliott. A little bit of contact there, and around goes the 6. Into the outside wall. More trouble coming through that section on the racetrack. Chase Elliott is well in trouble getting out in front of Austin Dillon. Lots of contact as they make their way through the S's, but they were all able to keep it straight. Unfortunately, Ryan Newman was not, and it does look like that may have brought out the caution. It has not, so we will stay green. We'll take a look at a replay of what happened to Ryan Newman. I think Alexander Rossi just went for a move that really wasn't there. Let's take a look at what happened. So it was Chase Elliott, Ryan Newman, and Alexander Rossi coming through the first right-hander on the racetrack. And you'll see Rossi there is just going to squeeze everybody together on the inside. Elliott kind of runs out of room. Rossi squeezes Newman into Elliott once again. Elliott, not happy with Newman, turns back across Newman. And into the outside wall goes the 6 car. That may have been intentional. We'll take you back live. Chase Elliott continuing to lose spots, now under fire from Matt DiBenedetto, trying to make that pass work on the outside lane. Nothing there. Back up to your race leaders, and we do have a pass for the lead. Ryan Blaney making his way down the inside of Cole Custer, now going to try and go around the outside of the right-hander. We'll see if Blaney is able to hold on. He will. Ryan Blaney to the race lead in Texas. Battle behind, that's Kyle Busch and Ryan Preece going side by side into the final corner on the racetrack. But I do think Ryan Preece is going to have the advantage there. Well, maybe not. Now it looks like he is going to clear Kyle Busch. We'll see if Preece can continue to make this run up through the field. Maybe going to move on Quinn Houff here coming into the left-hander. Doesn't look like he's going to try it. Back up to the front of the field, Ryan Blaney starting to pull away from Cole Custer. We'll see if Custer can run him back down throughout the course of the lap as the field starts to get single file. Custer right now at a pretty big disadvantage, pretty far behind Ryan Blaney coming through the S's. Meanwhile, Ryan Preece is closed up on Quinn Houff once again and is looking to go with that dive for third. Continuing through the S's, Ryan Blaney's lead has been extended over Cole Custer, and behind, that's where the main battle of the race is. Ryan Preece looking like he has a pretty fast car. He had a pretty fast car in Roseville. He's got a pretty fast car again tonight. Closing up on the bumper of Quinn Houff, a little bit of a nudge, but not going to go for it. Now everybody's going to get in this draft train going down this long straightaway. This could be a good opportunity to see if Ryan Preece can maybe stick his nose out, go for a move on Quinn Houff. Will he go for it into the left-hander? He's going to stay behind the 0-0. Little bit of contact. Quinn Houff goes out wide, and Ryan Preece is going to try and take that spot away. Now he's going to be on the outside, side by side with the 0-0. He's holding tight on the outside, but looks like Houff is going to have the advantage. Maybe not. Priest able to hold on the inside, dives it down into the left-hander. Ryan Priest is going to move up to third. Oh, never mind. Hauff has been able to hold on the inside. But the outside lane has been pretty strong here, coming through the sweeping right-hander. Finally, Priest is going to make that pass work, and he will get cleared of Quin Houff. Back up to the race leader, Ryan Blaney, continuing to get away from the field here at COTA. Looking for any battles throughout the racetrack, but it looks like for the most part it is single file. But it's all pretty close together, so at any moment if one driver slips up, there's definitely room to go for a move there. A couple of drivers coming into the pits. I'm guessing that's all for damage repair. Seems a little early to go for a green flag pit stop, but we do have a caution out on the racetrack. Oh, I wonder what that's for. Caution is out. A couple of drivers coming into the pits. We'll watch the race back to the line and see what brought out the caution. Don't think it's going to be much of a race. It looks like it's just Ryan Blaney getting away at the front, so we'll go ahead and take a look at what brought out this caution. Best way I know how to do it is we're just going to take a look at the pace car and find the moment of caution and figure out who was out, who was spinning. Caution came out a while ago, actually. I just missed it. So this has been going on for a while. All right, here we go. Right there, caution comes out, and it looks like it was Sam Hornish Jr. Yes, it was. Let's see what happened to the 12 car. Going into the left-hander, Sam Hornish. Oh, he has lost it on his own. Sam Hornish overcooked it into the left-hander, and I guess that was good enough to bring out a caution. Back up to the race leader. I'm guessing Ryan Blaney has won the race back to the line. He has. Oh, well, he hasn't yet. Still got a little bit of the lap to go. But it is basically all Ryan Blaney at the front of the field. He has hugely extended his gap over Cole Custer. And a lot of damage to the front end of Ryan Priest. What happened here? Oh, heavy nose damage to the 37. I'm guessing. Oh, no, it wasn't there. Was it in the hairpin before? Looks like it was. Going into the left-hander, Ryan Priest just overcooks it and gets into the 41. That's going to be heavy front end damage to the 37 Busch Beans machine. So Ryan Blaney is going to win the race back to the line as the pace car pulls out onto the racetrack. Caution is out for the first time today. And again, we're on an accelerated schedule here, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip past the caution. I will be right back. All right, back live here on TMG for pit stops at Circuit of the Americas. It doesn't look like anybody has opted to stay out on the racetrack. Ryan Blaney, your race leader, going to come in. Doesn't need any damage repair. That car is looking good as ever. So he is probably just going to go with either 2 or 4 tires and fuel. Right side's going up on the number 12 machine. We'll see if they opt to go with left side tires as well. Left side going up as well. I don't think anybody's just going to risk it on 2. Oh, a little bit of contact. Chase Elliott and Ryan Priest make contact coming out of the pits. Not too much damage to either of them. Ryan Blaney is going to win the race off of pit road, followed by Ryan Priest, who is up into second. So we're going to go ahead and skip back to the restart, and we'll be right back. Back live on TMG, Justin Haley is actually first on the racetrack. It looks like he may have stayed out under caution, which is what gave that 23 machine the lead. So Justin Haley is going to lead us back to the green flag. This could be interesting. Lights are out on the pace car, so we will go back green this time by on lap 6 of 42. Why does that say 42? This was not supposed to be a 42-lap race. Well, I made a bit of an oopsie. This race was only supposed to be 23 laps, but I'm not going to do the whole race over again, so whoever is leading at the conclusion of lap 23 is going to be the winner. Because I'm not doing a 42-lap race, that would take forever. Justin Haley leading the field off the final turn and coming to the green flag. Green flag is back out to restart the race here in Austin, Texas, with Justin Haley in control. Here we go. Ryan Preece looking opportunistic on the restart, going up the inside of Ryan Blaney towards turn 1, but he's going to duck back in line. Gets to the quarter panel of Blaney, but he is not going to try and make that move work as Justin Haley starting to pull away from the field. Towards the right-hander, Ryan Preece on the outside, trying to make that move work on Ryan Blaney. Side by side as they go into the S's. This is going to cost them a lot of time to Haley. Preece goes out wide, and Ryan Blaney is able to clear him back, but there's trouble. Sam Hornish Jr., Kurt Busch around to the back. 2 cars into the outside wall will bring out the caution, but first, we got to settle the race back to the line. Blaney on fresh tires, Haley on old ones. Who is going to make it back first? Into the hairpin. This is where those fresh tires are really going to prove to be an advantage. I think Blaney's going to have a shot at it, but he's got to make a dive. Here they come towards the next hairpin on the racetrack. This would be a good shot for Blaney if he can send it down the inside. Maybe go for the bump and run. And he couldn't quite get to Haley. He's in the grass. Everybody's in the grass coming through the left-hander. Blaney able to cover off a run coming from Preece. Meanwhile, behind, Alexander Rossi looking opportunistic and trying to find a move down the inside of Kyle Busch. He is going to try and make it work around the outside. We'll see if Rossi can do it. He's able to hang with the 18, but I think Kyle's going to have the advantage coming through the right-hander. Never mind, Kyle Busch was able to clear Rossi. Busch on the outside, taking a bit of a wider line. Maybe he can get around Preece. Doesn't look like he can. Coming back to the line to win the race, back to the caution. Justin Haley, who was able to stay out on older tires, is going to come off the final corner on the racetrack and win the race back to the line. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out this caution. And it was Kurt Busch and Justin Haley. Sorry, Kurt Busch and Sam Hornish Jr. Let's take a look. Oh, Eric Almirola got spun. So before anything happened, Eric Almirola got spun, and then Sam Hornish took out the 1 car. So I guess we got to take a look at what happened to Eric Almirola. Oh, another 3-wide situation here. Jimmy Johnson in the middle of it. We'll rewind a bit, see what happened. Johnson on the inside, Almirola in the middle. Hornish comes down on the 10, and around he goes into the wall, and from there, Sam Hornish comes into the 1 car. See if we can find a better angle of this. So this should be a pretty good flyby here. Yeah, you can see Eric Almirola gets spun into the inside wall, and the 12 car of Sam Hornish trying to correct it. Slides right back up into Kurt Busch, bringing out the caution. One more look at it here. Yep, 10 car goes around. Hornish comes back up onto the track. Contact with the one of Kurt Busch, and around they go. Hard into the outside wall. So the caution is out for the second time today, and for the second time today, it was an incident coming into the S's. That is proven to be one of the trouble spots on this track. That is going to be interesting as we go further into this race. So Justin Haley, who stayed out on old tires under the caution, won the race back to the line. He will be able to lead the field into pit road if they so decide to pit. We're going to go ahead and skip to that, and we right back. Back live here on TMG. I think I've gone a bit early. We'll be right back again. There we go. Justin Haley into the pit lane will lead the field down, but Ryan Blaney has elected to stay out on the racetrack. Probably a pretty good call for Jeremy Bullins and the 12 team. But Justin Haley, your race leader coming to the caution, will lead the field into the pits. We'll see if he decides to go with 4 tires or just 2. Well, looks like that choice has already been made. Unless he did not already stop in his stall. Oh, contact with Ryan Preece. They're spinning on the exit of pit road. What is happening? Trouble in the pit lane. But Ryan Preece is now able to win the race off pit road. But at a cost, there is a lot of damage to that number 37 machine. What on earth just happened in the pit lane? So they're both coming out of their stalls. Preece is trying to win the race off, and unfortunately, the pit lane just isn't wide enough for 2 cars to go side by side. They make some contact, drag each other into the wall, and around they go. But in the end, Ryan Preece was able to win the race off pit road. We'll go back live. So coming back to the green flag, race leader is going to be Ryan Blaney. Good call by Jeremy Bones to stay out. I don't think tires are old enough on that 12 machine. First car on fresh tires is going to be Ryan Preece, but he is pretty far down the order. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the restart. Back live here on TMG. Ryan Blaney is going to be leading the field back to green as we come out of the final section on the racetrack. Unless Clint Boyer gets in the way. Clint, what are you doing? I think Clint Boyer might have an issue. He is slow on the racetrack, but most of the field is able to get around him. The start has not been waved off, so we are going to keep going green. Boyer isn't going to pull off. Guess we're good. Ryan Blaney, not pitting under the caution, is going to lead the field back to green. First car on fresh tires is Ryan Preece, stuck behind Truex, pretty far down the order. Coming to the green flag, Ryan Blaney is going to lead him down with Alexander Rossi in second. Green flag is back out. That was a good jump by Rossi in second. He's going to be able to use the slipstream off Ryan Blaney's car as they go towards turn 1. But he's stuck behind the 12 and is not able to make a move. Behind them, Christopher Bell getting around the 3 of Austin Dillon, bringing Tyler Reddick with him on the outside. Into the S's once again. Are we going to see any more issues? Doesn't look like we will. Ryan Blaney trying to get away from the field, but Alexander Rossi with far more road course experience in second is chasing him down. I want to say they're on even tires, but I can't say that for sure. Update on Clint Boyer, he is back up to pace and racing for, not racing for position, but racing in the field. Rossi falling back to Blaney is going to put him in the clutches of Christopher Bell as they head down towards the hairpin. Bell is close on the bumper. Is he going to go for the bump and run? A little bit of a nudge, but nothing out of the 95. It's going to help Rossi, though. It's going to get Rossi a lot closer to Ryan Blaney. He's going to be in range to make a bump and run going through the left-hander. Rocketing down that long straightaway and heading towards that left-hander. Alexander Rossi needs to be late on the brakes to try and catch up to Blaney. He is not going to be there, but Blaney goes out wide a little bit. That's going to help Rossi. Rossi's getting closer to the bumper. Not quite able to make that move. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick, we haven't talked about him all race. Well, that strategy call of not pitting under the caution has put him up into 4th. He's going for 3rd on Christopher Bell, but that move is not going to work out. Ryan Blaney leading away here at Circuit of the Americas in second. Alexander Rossi is gaining. Battle for 3rd, Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell coming up to lap 12 of 23. I know that lap counter says 42. I messed up, okay? Just leave me alone. Lots of moving around there as they head into the final corner on the racetrack. Tyler Reddick trying to get any advantage he can over Christopher Bell, trying to get that 3rd spot away from him. He's going to have the draft coming down the front straightaway. He might be able to go for it in 1 and 2. There he goes. Reddick to the inside. He's going to make the dive and try and pull off the pass. He is. He's going to make it work. Now he's going to be on the outside. Tyler Reddick is going to pull off the pass. New into 3rd place is the 8 car. Remember, Tyler Reddick won race 1 of this season at Michigan, going for his 2nd win of the season here at COTA. Battle behind, Austin Dillon and Martin Truex Jr. going side by side through the S's with Austin Cindric lurking in the background. Truex on the outside, able to hold on and make the slide up the inside of Austin Dillon. He can't quite take away the spot. Dillon fighting back on the inside. Over the dirt, Dillon is going to lose some time and give that spot to Martin Truex Jr. But here comes Austin Cindric from behind. A little bit of bumping and banging as they head through the left-hander. Cindric going to stay behind in his place. Meanwhile, back up front, Alexander Rossi not much closer to Ryan Blaney than he was before, rocketing down towards the sharp left-hander. Is Rossi going to make the dive? He's got a good run on him. It's very easy to mess up through that corner, but none of those drivers did. Very mistake-free race so far for Ryan Blaney. Rossi in second, still trying to run down your race leader. Behind him, Tyler Reddick slowly gaining on second place. Reddick has a pretty fast car here. I think Tyler might be able to make a case for the win. He's just got to get up there in a position to do it, and he might be able to go up there and take this win away. Blaney still leading, albeit he's not pulling away as much as he was before. Continuing on now to lap 12 of 23, Ryan Blaney still leading away at Circuit of the Americas, but the entire top four covered in just 2 seconds. Battle behind, Alex Bowman and Austin Cindric. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. Bowman going to stay behind Cindric coming into the left-hander. Not going to try and pull off a move there. Back towards the S's go your race leaders, Cindric, Alexander Rossi in second, gaining on race leader Ryan Blaney. I think Alexander Rossi has a pretty decent car, but I think Ryan Blaney just might have a better handle on these stock cars. After all, Rossi's experience does not come from stock car racing. Towards the sharp left-hander, this could be an opportunity for Alexander Rossi to make up some time. If he's close enough to Ryan Blaney, he could go for the bump and run through the next left-hander. I don't know if he would do it, though. Coming up on the hairpin, will Rossi go for the dive? He's certainly close enough to. Heavy braking as they head into the left-hander. Rossi is there. Blaney slips out wide, but not onto the grass. But Rossi is definitely closing. I think he's got a shot at it here. He's just got to keep his line good. He slipped out a little bit wide there. Rossi's pretty good, though. I think he's definitely got a legitimate chance at this. If anything is to happen to the leaders, Tyler Reddick is there in third to pick up the pieces. Coming on to the final section of the racetrack and lap 13 of 23. Just over halfway done with this race so far. We are 42 minutes in, but we have skipped quite a bit of it under pace laps and under caution. Rossi's getting closer. He's definitely in that range that if he wanted to, he could go for a dive. The gap between your leaders at the line is going to be around 0.4 of a second. And there is your confirmation, just 0.4. I think Rossi has a shot at this. He's definitely close enough to have one. He's getting closer and closer each corner. Update on the first car on fresh tires, Ryan Preece. He has not made up much ground throughout the field. He's actually fallen back quite a bit. I can't even find him right now. I think Rossi falls back a little bit through the S's, but then when you get to the more trickier, kind of tighter parts of the circuit, that's where he makes up a lot of his time. Tyler Reddick, though, getting a lot closer to Rossi than Rossi is to your race leader. I think Reddick might also be able to get up there and try and challenge for the win. Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick are your two winners of the season so far. Reddick could be going for number 2. Rossi's closer this time by. He could definitely make a dive at it, and I think Rossi's best chance to get the lead is going to be Ryan Blaney. It's going to be bumping Ryan Blaney out of the way. Down towards the left-hander. Top 3 under a blanket of just 1 second. Bad corner by Blaney, good corner by Rossi. He's there, he's just got to make good use of it. Don't count out Tyler Reddick, though. He's still there in third. He could go for it. Coming up to just 10 laps to go. We're setting up for a pretty good finish to the race here. Rossi went a little bit wide through the right-hander, though. I think he's losing time as this run goes on. I think if Tyler Reddick wants to have a shot at the lead, he's going to have to get up there and get up there quick. Green flag pit stops. That's also something I didn't consider. Rossi's fallen back just a little bit this time by. I think the gap's going to be closer to 0.7 of a second now. Hasn't fallen by much, but it's fallen just a little bit. But he's gaining back through 1 and 2. Reddick's getting much closer to Rossi as well. The entire top 3 under a blanket of just 1 second. This is where Rossi's losing a lot of time, though. He's not able to get his car through the S's as well as Blaney has. He's had a pretty good run through it this time by, though. I think he might have a good shot at it. Finishing out the S's. And coming towards the first major passing point on the racetrack. And you got to consider, would Tyler Reddick even consider maybe trying to bunt draft or something with Alexander Rossi to try and get up there with the leader? Maybe give him a better chance at getting it? Good corner for Rossi. Bad corner for Blaney once again, but just not bad enough. Rossi's really going to have to push the issue here. Diving down towards the next left-hander. I don't really know what to call this corner. I'll just call it hairpin 2. Hard on the brakes, right up to the 12, but he might have overcooked it a little bit. No, not really. Rossi was right on the edge of what's acceptable. That's one thing that Rossi has done really well this whole race, pushing the limit without going over it. That's why he's been able to get so close to Blaney. He's having a much better set of corners this time than he was last time. No hesitation on his turn-in. The right-hander, though, that's where he's really going to make up a lot of time or lose a lot of time. It's not looking great so far. You can see how he just missed the apex a little bit more than Reddick did. You don't want to get right on that curbing, but you certainly want to get closer to it than Rossi did. Oh, sorry. There we go. Coming up to lap 15 of 23, and green flag pit stops are underway. The top 3 all bringing it into the pit lane. We'll see if anybody is able to jump anybody in the pits. Kyle Busch going to stay out. Ryan Blaney going to lead the field onto the pits. I'm guessing at this point in the race you'd want to go for 4 tires and fuel. Right side's going up on the 12 car. Right side's going up for everybody. Tyler Reddick done with his stop, down and away, trying to beat the rest of these guys off of pit road. Monitoring the 12 of Blaney. Left sides are down. Away he goes. But he didn't build much of a gap to Rossi. Rossi is still there. Yeah, I think if anybody's going to beat Blaney, it's going to be Alexander Rossi. Now they're going to have traffic to deal with too. Could Rossi pull off a pass in traffic? He's a lot closer now than he was before pit stops. Into the S's once again. Rossi's there. He's just got to make that decisive move to the inside. All over the back bumper now of Ryan Blaney as they head through the exit portion of the S's. This could be Rossi's chance. We've seen how strong he is early on in the run. Will he make a dive over to the inside? Blaney covers it off, but Rossi is going to be on the bumper. Oh, but Reddick bumps Rossi out of the way. Rossi going wide on corner exit. And that's going to give a little bit of an advantage to Blaney, but not much because Rossi is going to have the draft. This is essentially the battle for the lead right now. Heading up towards the left-hander. Rossi is going to be there, but he's just got to make that move to the inside. He's going to stay behind the 12 car. Little bit of contact. Reddick bumps them both. Oh, this is really good racing for the lead. Now Rossi's on the outside. Is he going to try and make that lunge over Blaney? He sends it into the right-hander. It's going to work out for him. Alexander Rossi on the outside is going to muscle away the race lead from Ryan Blaney. What a move by Alexander Rossi. Reddick follows him through as well. The battle's not over, though. Reddick, I think, is much faster than Alexander Rossi, especially on the early run. So will he be able to use that to his advantage? Battle behind Austin Cindric and Ryan Blaney. I don't think this is for position. Well, it is for position, but I don't think in terms of strategy, I don't think it is. Oh, never mind, it might be. Clean pass. Austin Cindric gets around Ryan Blaney. Most of the field coming into the pits at this point in time. Your race leader is not yet Alexander Rossi because some drivers, such as Kyle Busch and Ty Dillon and Sam Hornish, are yet to pit. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick getting held up by Eric Almirola. He's going to make a move over to the right side and get around him pretty cleanly. But man, what a pass from Alexander Rossi. Lots of contact, but he was able to make it work. Let's go ahead and take a look at that pass for the race lead because that was incredible. So here's the replay on board with Alexander Rossi, and he's just going to give a nudge to Ryan Blaney. It's going to knock him out of the groove a little bit. Rossi is able to get to the outside, gets a nice run down the straightaway, and watch how deep he sends that into the right-hander. He's able to really use all of the racetrack up to his advantage, get that mid-roll speed, and that is how Alexander Rossi was able to hold on the inside and take away the race lead. Back live, coming through that same section of the racetrack that Alexander Rossi made the pass, and Tyler Reddick is gaining on your race leader. Ryan Blaney not making any gains. He's falling back into the clutches of Austin Dillon and Austin Cindric. Your leader on track right now is Kyle Busch, but those drivers still have to make a pit stop. You can see it happening right there with Ty Dillon, one of the drivers of that group. Matt Kenseth coming in as well. But nobody really able to challenge Alexander Rossi. Lap 17 of 23 underway. Alexander Rossi takes away the lead from Ryan Blaney. And now gaining on Martin Truex Jr. The gap between the top two this time not really top two, but kind of top two, at the line is, let's see if we can figure it out, just about a second. Alexander Rossi, though, gaining on slower traffic, such as Martin Truex Jr. We'll see if that's going to hold him up. He's caught him at a bad point on the racetrack. Tyler Reddick could, in theory, use traffic to his advantage. Whenever you're racing on a road course and lap traffic, it's never really easy work. Especially when it's in a section like the S's. Tyler Reddick is gaining. Specifically through the S's, I think Reddick is a lot faster than Rossi. That's like the one weak point for Rossi on the racetrack. Gaining on lap traffic. Slow car's going to be in the way. Tyler Reddick is going to be there. We know how aggressive Tyler Reddick can get when he was racing for the lead, so will he do that again here? He's in the draft, and he's got the slower car to his advantage. Is Rossi going to try and make an overtake on Truex? Yes, he is. That's going to hurt his speed. Rossi's side by side with Truex. Reddick, no issue of the sorts. But unfortunately, Tyler Reddick gets caught up behind Martin Truex Jr. just at the worst time possible. That is going to help Alexander Rossi extend his lead. The top three now much more spread out than they were before. I think Ryan Blaney may have been holding him up just a little bit. His car definitely not the strongest. Most of the field coming into the pits now. I'm assuming that does include Kyle Busch. Yes, it does. So Alexander Rossi finally will have the actual lead on the racetrack. Lap 18 of 23 going to be underway in just a moment here. There is the confirmation. See if we can find Rossi. There he is. Well, your race leader currently is Christopher Bell, but I think he's in a very similar situation where he still needs to make a pit stop. Meanwhile, behind, Tyler Reddick is going to go ahead and make that pass on Martin Truex Jr., but Truex is not going to make it easy. He's holding him against the grass. This is not a good position for Tyler Reddick to be in. He's going to lose a ton of time to your race leader. Finally, Reddick is able to get around Truex. Don't count out Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon either. They're looking pretty fast here. Things have started to quiet down here at the Circuit of the Americas, but at a track like this, really anything can happen at any moment. Rossi leading, heading towards the hairpin, but once again, he has caught slower traffic. Reddick definitely doesn't have really that same advantage that he did before that Rossi was, that he had. Never mind, I'm going to give up on that sentence. Tyler Reddick isn't really close enough to Rossi for the lap car to play much of an advantage, as Rossi nearly punts Christopher Bell out of the way, but he doesn't do it. And unfortunately, he is going to get held up behind the 95. Not good for Alexander Rossi. That is going to help Tyler Reddick close the gap here. Yeah, the gap, I don't know if it's really shrinking, but it's certainly not getting bigger. And Rossi just slipped up a little bit through the right-hander, and that's also going to help Tyler Reddick. So Rossi versus Bell is technically the battle for the lead, but because Christopher Bell, I believe, still has to make a pit stop, it's not really the battle for the lead. But even if Christopher Bell doesn't have to make a stop, Rossi is still going to have a pretty good advantage here. Back down the front straightaway, will Rossi go for it into turn number 1? The gap between the leaders is only about a tenth at this point. Rossi staying behind the 95. I don't like this choice to stay behind him too long. They're going to head into the S's, and that is really going to hold him up. Oh, yeah, this is not going to work out well for Rossi. Going side by side into the S's with Christopher Bell, is that really a choice you want to make? Oh, it's a choice he wants to make, all right. This is not going to turn out well for Rossi. He is going to lose a lot of time. Yeah, he's just stuck behind the 95. I don't know if Rossi just doesn't want to risk making too much of an aggressive pass. I don't think that's it. Pretty wide shot here of the Circuit of the Americas. Yeah, Reddick's closed in on him. Staying behind the 95 for that long has not helped his case, and Tyler Reddick probably couldn't be happier about that. He is all over the back bumper of the 27, heading towards hairpin 2. Nose to tail as they head down towards the hairpin. Will Rossi make the move on Bell? He stays behind him. That's really not a good move, Alex. Reddick's going to get up to the bumper and move them both. Oh, what a move by Tyler Reddick. Nearly 3 wide getting towards the right-hander. This is incredible racing for the lead. Tyler Reddick now with a little bit of a bent up front end, but he is up to the bumper of Rossi, but he slips out just a little bit. Meanwhile, behind Martin Truex Jr. still racing with Ryan Blaney. Truex actually able to get a nice run on the outside. Back up to the lead. Alexander Rossi has kept it, but Tyler Reddick has closed in big time. They're going to be nose to tail heading towards turn 1. Hendrick Fan 24, this is some really smooth stop motion. Yep, it's a pretty good track, too. If not, you know, it's a little bit pixely in a couple of places, but I think it's pretty good. Rocketing down the front straightaway on lap 20 of 23. Just 4 laps to go, under 5 laps to go at this point, and this is the battle for the lead. Tyler Reddick and Alexander Rossi. Towards the right-hander and the S's once again. I think he's close enough. I think Tyler Reddick, if he just has a good run through the S's, which is where he's been stronger than Rossi all day, I think he could be on the bumper heading towards the hairpin. But this is the other issue, though. The race is going to end on lap 23, and green flag pit stops might happen before then. So if anybody can stretch it to the end, they might be in a good position to take the upset here. The battle on track is between Tyler Reddick and Alexander Rossi, but the battle for the race win could go much deeper than that. Back towards the left-hander. Reddick on the bumper of Rossi, and he is going to close up through here. He'll have the slipstream heading towards hairpin 2. Reddick trying to take away the lead for the first time today. He's there. He's in a place where he could make a move if he wanted to, but does he want to? He's getting very close. He's been able to beat Rossi on braking all day, but Rossi is able to get a just slightly better corner exit than him. Reddick's got a good line through here. One of the most complicated sections on the racetrack is where you can make up a ton of time or lose a ton of time, and I don't think Rossi's had a particularly good time of making it through. Reddick has closed the gap. He is there to try and make a move for the lead. We'll see if any of them decide to come in for their stop. It does not look like they will. Will anybody come in for the stop? I don't think so. I think we're good until the end. Just 3 laps to go. Tyler Reddick, if he's going to make a move, he's got to make it soon. And unfortunately, I think Rossi pulled away a little bit more that time by. Into the S's once again. Again, this has been Tyler Reddick's strong suit all day. He's been able to navigate through the S's really well. But I don't know if... I think Rossi may have figured it out at this point. It's pretty late in the race to still be making a mistake like that. No, this isn't actually stop motion. This is NR 2003. Reddick's there. He is definitely there. He's going to be close enough where he could make a bump and run coming through the hairpin, but does he want to do that? Nah, it wasn't close enough that time by. He's really got to send it. He's in the slipstream. Could he make it work? Hard on the brakes coming up to the left-hander. Reddick all over the curbing. He's there. He's there, but he just has to get a little bit closer. There's not another good passing opportunity on the track until turn 1. So he's just got to hang on until then. Meanwhile, behind, Ryan Blaney has caught Christopher Bell. That battle is for 3rd. Reddick's on the curbing. He's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. If you're going to make a move, make it now. They're coming to 2 to go. Reddick's much closer now than he was before. The gap's only got to be down to about maybe 7 or 6/10 of a second. It seems like a small gap, but in reality, it is so big to try and make up that gap. 2 to go. Like I said, if you're going to make it move, you got to make it soon. Tyler Reddick is gaining on Rossi, but he just can't seem to find a way around him. They are going back towards the S's. Good set of corners by the 8 car. I think Rossi had a better one, though. Where is Mahavir Raghunathan running? Well, I think he got confused because right now he's at the Texas Motor Speedway. So if somebody wants to go down there and collect Mahavir, then that'd be great. Reddick's fallen back a little bit this time by. He's got to have a really good corner to make a dive and hairpin too. He'll have the slipstream, but I don't think it's going to be enough. On the brakes hard. He's closed up quite a bit. Is he going to overshoot it? Rossi went out wide, but not wide enough to make a difference. Coming to the white flag this time by. It'll be 1 lap to go here in Austin. Can Tyler Reddick make that move? He's really got to send it if he wants to. Just about an hour into the race. It's all going to come down to this. White flag this time by. Who is going to make it back first? Oh, they're coming into the pit lane. Oh, what are they doing? Reddick's in, so is Rossi. I think they're out of fuel. Denny Hamlin is going to be the first car on the racetrack to not come into the pit lane. Oh, what are they doing? The white flag's waving. 1 lap to go, and Denny Hamlin is the only driver staying out on track. What a nightmare. Have they really just done what I think they did? Alexander Rossi and Tyler Reddick are out of fuel. They need tires or something, which has put Denny Hamlin into the lead. I don't believe what I'm watching. Hamlin's going to make it through the S's. There's no more time to run him down. It's between him and Kyle Busch. Hamlin's pulling away. Oh, this is unbelievable. The strategy choke of their life. Tyler Reddick and Rossi, they were the fastest 2 drivers all day, and they have just choked away the victory. Oh, I can't believe it. Back towards the hairpin. Is Kyle Busch close enough? Busch is the only driver with a shot at it. Hamlin leading. He's got a pretty beat up car. But I think it is going to make it around. Wow. Have you ever? Because I have never. Kyle Busch is closing. I don't think it's going to be enough, but he is closing in on race leader Denny Hamlin. Honestly, it might be enough. We're going to have a race to the line here. Kyle Busch is not about to give up this race win. His car is better than Denny Hamlin, and he knows it. It's going to be close. Hamlin leading. Kyle Busch in second. Who is going to win the race back to the line? Kyle Busch out wide. Is he going to make a dive at it? Denny, what are you doing? Hamlin's into the pits. Denny Hamlin out of fuel as well. And Kyle Busch is going to take away the victory. To the checkered flag, Kyle Busch wins the Texas 300. I don't believe it. The top 3 on the last lap all pit, and Kyle Busch is given the victory. I don't believe it. Kyle Busch wins at Texas because nobody could make it on fuel. Unbelievable. So Kyle Busch is going to win the Texas 300 in a remarkable last lap turn of events. Checkered flag waving, it is over. Kyle Busch has done it. Wow. I don't believe it. Kyle Busch has just won in the most ridiculous way possible. It was between Rossi and Reddick the whole time, but their strategies completely failed them at the end, and they just handed the victory to Kyle Busch. That has got to be the worst way to win a NASCAR race possible. Welp, that'll do it for the Texas 300. Kyle Busch wins race 3 of the TMG Summer Series after Tyler Reddick and Alexander Rossi basically throw away the win. I don't believe it. But here on TMG, anything is possible. Thank you all for tuning in to the Thank you all for tuning in to the Texas 300. What a race that was. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's NASCAR race. Have a good rest of your week. This is Jonathan signing out, and I will see you all next time.